and there's the lift. So I'll start it up real quick so I can hear the RJWC. That's it. Okay guys, we're back here, about to take the upper control arm off. Just took the sway bar off right here. Oh, there went one of the boots. It's running away from me. There's the bottom part of the sway bar. All these suspension bolts back here are, let me see here. They're 15 millimeter using the impact. You can get to the impact on most of them. I wanted to do a trial run on this side. I'll video more on the left side, on the, I guess you say, the passenger side, or no, the driver's side. Here's the, oh, I like to keep that up. Let's go ahead and pull that out. But yeah, so it's going along good. Like I said, the front end, that might have to wait. Just doing this to see how much lift I get out of it. We'll have before and after pictures too also. So yeah, this should be interesting. Got the right side on after having a little issue with the bottom shock bolt lining up, which I finally got it lined up. I took the top one out and just lined it up, put that one in, and this one slid right in. So 15 millimeter socket and wrench on the back side, 15 millimeter, 15 millimeter, 15 millimeter, and I used a 1 1/16 for the axle nut. And so yeah, I'm gonna be a little bit more in depth on this side. I'm gonna try to get some video footage of me taking this side apart. Check back with y'all in just a second. Okay guys, now we're about to take the axle nut off with this 1 1/16 real quick. Next, you'll want to take these upper control arm bolt out of the knuckle, and then the lower control arm. Okay guys, next you're going to take your 15 millimeter socket and your 15 millimeter wrench and go ahead and zip these off real quick. As you can tell, I've already taken the sway bar off up here, which was no big deal. It's two 13 millimeter bolts on each side. You really just have to figure that out, how to wiggle. You do have to have both sides of the wheels and tires taken off to get this sway bar off. Just a heads up. And there went that. Same thing with the bottom side. 15 millimeter, 15 millimeter. Make sure you're on the bolt. And there goes the knuckle. Yeah, it's going to be interesting doing the front. I've never done ball joints on a Polaris, so go ahead and pick this up, make sure it's not damaged. Everything good. That out of the way. It stinks. Got it. And I suggest, if you're doing anything like this, check all your bearings, check everything, and how you keep up with your bolts is do exactly what I'm doing here. Take them, slide them through. That way you don't lose track like I did earlier. I didn't put one of these back in. I put it back in one of the stock A-arms. Okay, so next you're going to take a 15 millimeter wrench to your top side here and a 15 millimeter socket. And for some reason, I hope I'm giving y'all a great angle. For some reason on the top side, on both sides, there's been a washer. Just watch that. I've noticed that. on both sides, so if it's on there in the factory, it probably needs to be on there on the aftermarket A-arms. So these stock A-arms come off really easy. Probably the most difficult part is going to be the getting the bushings out, which is no easy task. That's probably the hardest part of this whole entire ordeal. Of course, you're gonna have to take your bottom control arm off right here and right there. Both 15 millimeters. I hope y'all can see all this. It's kind of dirty up in here. I've sprayed it off, but I went riding last night with one of my buddies. So yeah, to be continued. I'm gonna zip these off real quick. Again with the rear right here. Sorry, I had to take care of something. And that's how easy that comes off. The inner one is going to be a little bit harder because the belt box, and just be careful when you're hitting the bolt like I do. If you do hit it like that. Better got the shock out of the way, and got to try to get this bottom A-arm completely off. Yeah, should be using a shorty, but you know, oh well. Or I could just do this. Rides. Come out of there. And that's out. Boom. Alrighty, well, I'm about to get the bushing swapped over to the other A-arms, and I'll holler back at y'all. That knocked through with the hammer, had to go get the hammer. Get this pulled the rest of the way out, and by all means, this is not a clean job. Mechanic's job is never a clean job, just always remember that. That's why mechanics charge so much. So, about to get started on getting these rubber bushings out. I'll get back with y'all. Get it lined up real quick. The back side, and all you basically do is just put everything back together the way you took it apart, just like that. Okay guys, just a heads up, whenever you're doing the shock, take the top shock bolts out, put the bottom bolt in, and put the top bolt in last, and that will make it a lot easier. Guys, backup has arrived. Kelly's here. Back here, called in backup. Kelly's here. Already got one of the ball joints out. Yeah. Don't suggest doing this way. But yeah, getting that one out. Okay, update. All we gotta do is just jack the fuller up a little bit more. We'll have the front lift on. Got the rear lift done completely. Had some issues, had to run to the store. Also cleaning out the RJWC. Cody's come over to help. So I've had two members. One member helped me with ball joints, another one's helped me with bolt. I've been working on this all day, so it's nice to have some friends come over and help you out when you need help. Check back in with y'all whenever I get done. Okay guys, so same as the rear, just about everything's a 15. On the OutKast, I did realize OutKast did not put a factory spot for the will you turn that radio down? I don't want to get copyrighted. They did not put a star bolt. It's right here. They didn't put this little bolt in there. So I just used a zip tie, because zip ties are awesome. So 15 millimeter here, 15 millimeter in here. You will need a wiggle for the top side. That will help a lot, and this radiator actually right here will move a little bit. Sorry I didn't get any of that on video. I've been pretty frustrated spent about 30 minutes trying to get this top bolt out. Then Cody come over here and got it out in like 5 minutes. So it's always awesome having friends. So yeah, 15 millimeter up here. You'll need a 15 millimeter socket and ratchet. Always helps to have the Milwaukee. And then right here, these are 13s, I think, right? Those are 13s. Those,
yeah, those
13s. Yeah, and then we took the ball joints out. Me and Kelly did that. Just hammering a hammer.
WD-40,
yeah, WD-40. If you doing anything like this, WD-40. Of course, make sure you don't press the brakes. Make sure your brakes are off the parking brake beside it. You're like almost 6 foot. Yeah, stand from the back. He's like close to 6 foot, and that's above his waist. So you're 6'2"? 6'2". Yeah, I'm like 5'10". So yeah, that's insane amount of ground clearance for a 3-inch lift, stock axles. So very impressed. Just gonna see how it rides now. I'll probably do a test ride in the daylight. I might do one at night. Who knows? We'll see. The old parts. About to swap the 32.5s over to the Sportsman from the 420. I'll be running stock high lifter wheels for now. About to run down to Co-op where one of my buddies, Cody, works, and swap these out. Need to get a hold of that RJWC. Hey guys, it's Wednesday. Swapped the lift over to the OutKast lift onto the Sportsman. Took all the ball joints out of my stock, put them on my OutKast lift, and I'm on my way right now to Co-op in Henderson to swap the 32.5s over to the Sportsman. Cody Pierce, he's swapping my 29.5s over to my 32.5. I'm over here taking the bead locks off right now. The 32.5s on the front right here. Ignore that's where my light bar mounts on my front bumper. Ignore that. The back ones. Slinging it everywhere. Slinging it. Yeah. A little bit. I'll take a video though. Got a little dirty. Three-inch OutKast on 32.5s.